Welcome back, everyone. Here, HCS Pro Series number 2 is getting towards its inevitable conclusion here in ANZ. We've only got a few series to get through before we start to crown another champion for the Pro Series of number 2. Blue and Hoggy are back by my side, lads. We've seen the Chiefs return to form once again here, being able to get themselves a full clean sweep all the way throughout today, not dropping a single map when they get into that grand final, and now they're seeing if they can have a full squeaky clean record in Pro Series number 2. But Bluey, we're setting our attentions here on the Elimination final. Divine Mind going up against Immunity. The big story coming out of this is the fact that there was a 2-1 going the way of Immunity there over the Direwolves. You know, I would have probably imagined that the Immunity guys would have been pretty disappointed with themselves if they didn't get the win there over the Direwolves and have a date here with either the Divine Mind or the Chiefs. So Bluey, going into this Elimination finals as a full best of 5 for Immunity to try and get a little bit more Halo Infinite experience under the belts.
Yeah, actually kind of surprised to see Immunity come out on top of the Direwolves, because we've watched the Direwolves plenty of times here on the on the main stage, and Direwolves are so strong as a team, and they're actually one of those teams who have pretty much been a core 4 for the entirety of the run within Infinite that we've had here. So you would expect just having all that experience underneath their belts as a 4-core roster, and then moving forward, that I personally felt that they would be able to take Immunity down no problem. But again, Hoggy, I'm sorry, mate. I doubted before. I'm taking it back. I'm so sorry. Immunity's really pulling up and out here, and they're doing a fantastic job at giving a team like Direwolves the answer.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty big thing for the boys of Immunity, right? Coming into this series, they really have nothing to lose. You know, going up against Divine Mind, there's a team that has been surely in everyone's minds when you're looking at the top 2 of ANZ right now, and Immunity coming into their first tournament, going up against a team like Divine Mind. They're sure they're going to be happy with this, but Hoggy, you know, obviously Divine Mind has been a team that now coming through Pro Series seems like this is going to be a pretty consistent 4 for them. Obviously, last time we talked to B-Diz, they were saying that maybe Dante might be the one that might be rotating out of this, but the same 3 core is probably going to stick together for Divine Mind, so they can only improve from here.
Yeah, well, they had a tough series then against the Chiefs, and they have to bounce back straight away, right? They're going straight into Immunity, who are obviously very strong. They've gone from open bracket all the way up into potentially third place if they get taken down by Divine Minds. So it's a tough game for them to come in against Immunity, and Slays is the player we want to highlight. You know, at the start of the day, he started really strong, and then in this series against Chiefs, didn't really pull through too much, so he really needs to step up going into this game against Team Immunity, because they want to stay number 2. But you know that Immunity wants it just as much. So the fact that Slays is struggling a little bit right now, he needs to regain his composure, come into this series, and help his team get the W.
Yeah, he has been putting up some big numbers so far in Pro Series number 2, and even in Pro Series number 1, he was putting up some pretty decent numbers as well. So really are looking forward to seeing if Slays can take a stranglehold of this series so far. But Immunity, Bluey, this is a team that has such a storied history, and now coming into Pro Series number 2, they've really kind of blown a lot of us away, and I'm excited to see if they can make the run all the way towards the grand finals.
Yeah, you know, Immunity, again, I doubted them before coming into early today. To me, to my eyes, they weren't really putting up a convincing enough performance for me to say, okay, this is definitely one of the top teams we have in the region. But as this night's gone on, we've seen them play, and, you know, they took it from out underneath Direwolves, and it's clear that they know what they're doing. They know how to play Infinite. Obviously, they're such an experienced roster, and one of those experienced roster is definitely Voltage. You know, we've seen him here in the ANZ region. If you've been someone who's paid attention to ANZ Halo, he's always been here. His name has always been out there. He is such a seasoned player, such a seasoned veteran, and such a consistent player as well. You know, we have seen a little bit of that trouble coming into Infinite from here, but again, as this night's gone on, he's gotten more and more warmed up on the thumbs. So hopefully he can take that momentum moving forward, and we can see them face off against the Chiefs again and sort of redeem themselves for the performance that they had earlier on in the night.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy storyline for us to say that, you know, Immunity, they dropped out into our Elimination bracket to get a little bit more experience under their belts, and now they've played a whole boatload of different maps and a whole boatload of different game modes as well. And Hoggy, it really feels like these guys are starting to warm up into their own skin, but this is going to be another big test for them. Obviously, the test was earlier today up against the Chiefs to see how they stacked up, albeit they fell by the wayside as that series did go on, but now this is a full best of 5. So Hoggy, they really have a lot of opportunities to try and take it here to Divine Mind, who did just cop a kind of smacking once again coming in from the Chiefs, but Divine Mind, there's still no slouches in and of themselves.
Yeah, it's a good time for Team Immunity to take on Divine Minds. They're going to be down a little bit. They have to rebuild a bit, and Immunity's kind of coming in, I would say, hot, if we're being honest. I know they won 2-1, and, you know, they didn't win 2-0, and they're not playing super good, but if we're talking in the context of a team that hasn't played too much together, and they're coming in here straight into third place. I would say that's a pretty hot run for a team that doesn't have a lot of practice.
I know it's pretty ridiculous the fact that these guys have been able to come into their first tournament and make it all the way to third spot minimum right now. But let's have a look at the maps to this best of 5, lads, and see where we're going to be heading for Divine Mind taking on Immunity. Starting out here with the Oddball Recharge, Bluey, and I'm excited for us to see what these guys have really been able to do. You know, obviously, last time we talked to Hef, he was saying that Oddball seems to be like one of those kind of maps they've been able to do. He was saying that Live Fire is also a good map for them as well. Seems like that's one of the ones. And also Streets, the third map as well. So if you're an Immunity fan right now, you're probably looking at these opening couple of maps and being like, this is pretty good for us going into a best of 5.
I would be interested to see, however, if Divine Mind, you know, being on the receiving end of the sort of Chiefs and the way that they play the recharge map in particular, if they decide to take a page out of their book and adapt it to their own. That would be really interesting, and I think that would also put them in a really good position to take over Divine Mind, because it's something that them as a team have plenty of experience in. If they can adapt that to themselves, then that's fantastic for the team, and that shows such a good ability to adapt to a map in a short amount of time and really take it to Immunity.
Yeah, the old boys of Team Immunity. They're going to be taking on Divine Mind, who is the second best team in this region. But Immunity's coming for that spot. We're on board with Beeston straight off the bat. He's gone straight into tower with the Mangler. He's going to find one player straight at the batteries right in front of him. He will take him down. Voltage will take down Beeston. 2 players down for Immunity. Dante is one shot, trying to stay alive as best as can. 3 of the players go down on Immunity. Taj is the last man alive. Good start for Divine Mind.
Yeah, Voltage actually managed to take down Berserk just before he got taken down himself then. So all around, they managed to keep the slays pretty equal. It doesn't seem like either team got to make a whole bunch of ground, but we're now going to see here that that Ogre 1 unfortunately just gets taken down like near immediately during that C push, which is super unfortunate because they had a really fruitful position there in being able to push Divine Mind back a little bit. But, you know, I feel as though with just how evenly these teams seem to be matched, we're going to see a lot of back and forth going in between these games, and it's really going to make or break those last little pieces of, like, you know, seconds that each team can get with the ball that's really going to make this series.
Yeah, the Divine Mind squad take down 2 of Immunity. Benno's got another player in front of him. Good kill for him. Beeston will take him down. Hef's the last man alive, though, and his team is coming off the respawn on the other side of the map. So Divine Minds have control of the map. We're a minute into the game. We've already lost a minute. It's a killing spree for Beeston, and the ball is finally ticking over in the hands of Divine Mind, Louis.
Yeah, interesting that Divine Mind is actually just deciding to hold long with the ball rather than jump up to gold. Maybe they just feel too much pressure coming out from Immunity here, as Community have like Whirlpool bottom tower control, especially now after Taj gets that kill. But, you know, there's not really many rotations that Divine Mind can do here unless they decide to take a page out of Chief's book and just take this ball to this bottom hydro section, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. Immunity actually seems to be providing a little bit too much pressure.
Yeah, the ball was thrown down to the bottom hallway. Hef will take down the player of Divine Minds. We're on board with Dante trying to come across the map to help his team out. Slays, I'm not sure where he is. There he is. He's at Hydro with Dante right next to him. So if they can work together, Benno's here as well. Benno will be one shot. They did work together perfectly. Dante takes down one. He's pushing in for the double, and he will get it. Can he find the triple? There it is right in front of him. He doesn't get it. His teammate steals it. Beeston takes down a player, and Dante will grab the ball. So Dante and Slays working together. Perfect teamwork from them. They've worked perfectly on this Hydro side, Louis, and they've managed to get the ball in their hands.
And now here is the Hydro hold, and this is going to be incredibly hard for Immunity to make a good break on and actually get control of the ball, because at any point when Divine Mind feels danger, they can just play that ball, and then they get like a full reset. It doesn't matter if they die at that point, because they've wasted enough time just in playing that ball that they can set up for something completely else, and then it just turns into another game of who can outslay who. And I think in this particular situation, it's not too far-fetched for me to say that I think Divine Mind would win in that situation if it falls back onto a pure Slayer kind of game. Ogre 1 not doing too hot right now. He's currently 0-8.
Yeah, Ogre 1 was showing up earlier in the day, but he hasn't started yet. Maybe it's his bedtime. Maybe it's time for his bedtime. He is a little bit older now, so maybe it's a bit past his bedtime, but not a great start for Ogre 1. The ball did get played, and it's only 3 seconds on the board for Immunity. So Divine Mind off to a strong lead. There is 2.5 minutes left in the game, so the ball hasn't been held for too much of this game yet. 2 of the players of Immunity go down. Beeston is going to go in. Ogre One's trying to watch over it, but he doesn't want to peek too hard as his teammates were down. He does have a player behind him. He will try to go in and challenge him. Can he get his first kill? He's going to grab the Mangler. This is how you do it. You grab yourself the Mangler, you shoot him twice, you shoot him in the head, you take down the kill. He's going to find 2 of them, though, and he doesn't manage to get any.
Finds 2, Hoggy. I think you mean finds 3. They turned on him like it was nothing. Oh man, Ogre One currently 0-9, and this is not the performance you want to see. You know, it's very hard because at the moment there's just no map control. They haven't really gotten many power weapon controls. You know, we might see Ogre One here grab the camo, and he does. He needs to pop that instantly, but it looks like it might even be a burn, especially Berserk's got his number dialed, and he takes him out instantly for the double, and there was no play, there was no momentum that Immunity could actually make with that power-up. So really unfortunate for them, and that's the round already done. Immunity seems to just be not putting up much of a fight at all. Ogre One finishes that round 0-10, Hoggy. 0-10.
Yeah, very rough round for him, but Divine Minds, they take a comfortable lead in the first round of Oddball on recharge. The side of Slays, he's pushing it straight in. He'll find 2 players. He gets challenged right off the bat. 2 of them are down. As Berserk's pushing down to double stacks, he'll find a kill. He finds another one right in front of him. He won't be able to get him. He does. He gets the double. His teammate gets clean. He gets cleaned up though, and the side of Divine Minds are coming off respawn to try to get this camo. Taj will get taken down. The players of Divine Mind will grab that for themselves.
Camo did not burn in the hands of Taj, which is super unfortunate. It appears like Slays has the camo right now, and he's just pushing up elevator side right on Voltage and Hef, which is super unfortunate. Currently, Divine Mind have the ability to just make a bit of a setup here and milk a bit of ball time with the oddball if they do so please, but it looks like they're just playing the Slay game right now. You know, 14 points isn't enough to justify and say that, okay, the score's bloated out too much, so they're going to play it a little slow. They're going to just fall back into the Slay game, which I feel as though something Divine Mind have most of. Slays can get the triple. Right now, he does, and he's looking for that over. Can he manage to take Hef on right now? He doesn't though, but he makes a really good escape with that 360, getting a little bit flashy for us and making really good use of that grapple hook to just traverse around the map like he's Spider-Man.
Oh man, how is he alive? This is perfect for his team, man. They've got the ball in pipes, and Immunity's still struggling to get in here to try and get it back. Slays has got a few rocky shots. His teammate's going to come through and back down Taj for him. Ogre One's going to come in. That's the killing spree now for Slays. So Slays is putting on a clinic in the first game of this series. After we said that he struggled in the previous series, he's stepping up in this one.
Yeah, he heard your calls, Hoggy. He said, enough's enough. I'm turning it on. I'm going to be on main stage. I know it. And he's definitely putting on a show, you know, with that little dance he was doing with the grapple hook there. That's exactly the kind of, you know, he was taking a page out of Pip's book and just being the milkman, staying alive for as long as he was and just devoting all of Immunity's attention to him, because they even sent a member into pipes to try and finish him off, and they couldn't even get it done. Dante just running around this map like a madman with the sword completely uncontested, and now he's even going to be able to get a hold of the camo. So he has one of the most deadly combinations on this map. Gets a triple kill on Ogre One, but he doesn't quite get the overkill, man. Just good performance from him overall. Stayed alive for so long. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, Dante was just being a nuisance. He burnt the camo in the end as well, so he was just being a nuisance on the side of Hydro, and he was just behind the side of Immunity. Immunity couldn't really do anything, but unfortunately for Divine Mind, they played the ball, so they hadn't been getting too much time going while he was being a nuisance, but he has thrown it up to Bat Ledge, and his teammate will grab it, trying to milk his life as best he can, do his best Pips impression. 2 of his teammates are pushing through C, and they'll come straight for Hef. Hef will go down. It's a double kill for Berserk, and the ball is in the hands of Beeson, and he's getting challenged by Benno.
The map dance that Immunity's doing right now is just not working in their favor whatsoever. Like, at no point have they actually managed to truly hold a position on the map, whether it be with the ball or not. They're just running around frantically, you know, trying to get secure as many kills as they can, but it's never really working out for them. They're never in a good position where they can say, okay, this is where we want to set up, or potentially look at setting up. They just have no space to work with, because Divine Mind is just applying so much pressure directly to the neck of Immunity that there's nothing that they can do. And speaking of necks, Berserk just sliced up Benno, so...
Yeah, he's got the sword in hand. Taj is around the corner. They'll drop down for him. He gets a couple of shots on him. Taj will have to back down, call out for his teammates, but no one's there to help him. He does manage to stay alive, and he's going to whip around. Beeston will clean up his kill. Ogre One gets another. Berserk's trying to go bottom middle. Camo is up in 18 seconds. He's just being a nuisance, exactly like Dante was before. They're about to almost ticked over to 70 seconds. The ball was played again to bottom middle. So Divine Mind, they just keep throwing the ball out. Whenever they feel in trouble, they just play the ball and make sure they get it out and just slay it back.
Again, we're getting to that slower point of the map where it seems to be more focused on slays more than anything else. You know, Immunity is probably panicking a little bit right now because the score in favor of Divine Mind is so bloated out, and it's going to take a lot of effort for Immunity to be able to catch up to that. But right now, Divine Mind just have map presence all over them. It's just not giving them a second to breathe. You know, every time a member of Divine Mind goes down, 2 members of Immunity go down. So there's nothing that Immunity can do with any of the kills that they're making. Slays right now has the camo and the shock rifle, makes a convincing shot, and he does have Dante to back him up. Again, this is the communication from, you know, what we're calling the #2 team in Australia is expected, and they're playing brilliantly right now.
Yeah, they grabbed the camo for themselves. Berserk's got the ball in hand. He's going to throw it out again. He's going to put a little play out there. There's 2 minutes left on the clock, so there's still a long time for Immunity to come back. Benno is the last man alive, though. The ball is down. He's going to have to try and get his teammates to help him and pincer this person down long haul. Hef was trying to do it. He'll go down. He knows that Berserk is right there. He won't be able to get him. He doesn't want to push. He's trying to hold position, and now he's going to go down and try see if he can get a flank on Berserk. His teammate goes down. 2 of his teammates go down. Hef will trade out a kill for himself, but Dante, he's got the sword again. He's coming straight in through pipes. He's got a player right in front of him, and he'll take him down as well. This team is just flanking over and over. Divine Mind have Immunity's number right now. He's on a killing spree as well. He's got the sword. He's going to use the grapple, and he goes in. He gets the double. That's
Warrior
a clutch kill. That's
well.
it. Just got to keep wasting time. Keep getting the kills because there's only 1 minute 10 on the clock now.
God, Warrior Medal coming out from Dante. That's 5 sword kills that he's managed to secure throughout this map. Just absolutely uncontested, you know. Immunity have no way to answer to this. They're just not in control of any of the equipment, any of the power weapons. We saw them manage to grab camo once, maybe twice, but as soon as they get a hold of it, it's burned. They get no usage out of it, and it's only 7 seconds left for Divine Mind to be able to secure the game. They've only got 5, and it seems like this is going to be a really convincing win on the side of Divine Mind. Going in for the ball kill at the end. Slay secures it. Man, good game from Divine Mind. Very, very much in control. This is what we expected to see coming from them. Not what we expected to see from Immunity, though. A little disappointing, Hoggy.
Yeah, no, Divine Mind's bounced back perfectly, right? They play against Chiefs. They have a tough couple of games. They bounce back straight away, and they dominated that game, to be fair. They did dominate that game. And we even saw it in the Chiefs Immunity series. They actually played that same game where Immunity struggled. Remember you were talking about how they were struggling and it didn't look that great on that map, and maybe they're just not too great on that map.
Yeah, mate, you know,
that game mode specifically, right?
Yeah, well, Hef did call out before that they felt as though Oddball was one of the strongest things, but I mean, judging from Recharge Oddball in particular, we've seen it played out 2 times now for Immunity, and both times they've looked really, really shaky on it. So going back as a team, looking at that map and how you play it, there's a whole bunch of mistakes that probably we didn't even see at that point that they're going to have to figure out and iron out as a team to be able to go forward, because when you have teams, you know, like Divine Mind, like the Chiefs coming up, and they play these maps so strong, so convincingly, you're really going to have to start to do your homework and make sure that you have maps like Recharge and game types like Recharge Oddball really down on lock.
Yeah, and look at that, Slay's 20-8. We highlighted him before the series started, saying he's had a rough couple of games against the Chiefs, but he's bounced back immediately. And Dante has stepped it up as well, and between them, their kills were just, you know, too much for Immunity, especially across the whole board for them. If you watched or saw on the scoreboard at the end of this game, the kills were like double digits for the side of Divine Minds, and there was all single digits for the side of Immunity, and Slays and Dante being 2 of those main reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, not even single digits in the case of Immunity sometimes within that first round of Oddball. Ogre 1 going 0-10, which is not what you want to see, you know. That's no kill pressure whatsoever, which is, yeah, you know, that could be a testament to just how much pressure Divine Mind were applying, you know, never letting Ogre 1 get in a position where he could actually back up his team or get any kills himself, you know. So Divine Mind were just, yeah, super, super strong, super persistent, super agile, and they just looked really ready to play in that first map.
And in that replay there, that was something that we saw a lot from the side of Divine Minds. Every time they had a setup, they almost had a player on the other side of the map just being an absolute nuisance, moving around, sort of like catching Immunity on spawn, so that when they're trying to come in, they're already staggered. They've already got one person going down. They're like, oh, do I turn around? Do I go forward? Do I... And it makes it hard when you've got a player behind you all the time. And that's kind of what Divine Mind had with Dante.
In that particular case, maybe that's something that Immunity go forward and communicate in with each other and say that, okay, one of the things that we're not capturing so well is just coming off the spawns, which is surprising because on that Streets map that we saw them play in their last series, they were really strong in that regard. So it could just be a map differential. I definitely think that, off of watching that, Recharge is not their strongest map. But as Hef said before, going into this live fire match, Hef says they feel confident in this map. So we might see a little bit of change of pace here going forward.
Yeah, hopefully Immunity can pick it up as we go into game number 2. On board with Ogre 1. Nades straight down bottom middle. Beaston will drop down right in front of him and try to take him on. He grabbed the sniper. That's a double kill for him. Pick up the sniper, baby, and be able to put up a clinic for us. A triple kill would be nice. He picks the double. There it is. So he's got the heat wave. He's got the sniper, and he's ready to go. Starting off the game hot after last game, right?
Exactly, yeah. He's turned it up, and you can actually see he dropped it. He gave it to another one of his teammates.
He knows he's struggling.
No,
so. I'm kidding.
No, Hockey, don't do him in like that, man. You can't just say that on main stage. No. That's that teamwork. That's that coordination you need. Maybe it's better off for me to supply a weapon to a teammate so he can use it better because I've already got something like the heat wave. I want to play more aggressively with that. Here's the sniper for you, so you can use that a little better. It's clear that they know where Dante is right now. Dante actually did manage to get possession of the sniper, and that's a cluster that comes straight out from Ogre 1. Massive play on the grenades there. Really poor positioning from Divine Mind, and we might see another kill out from Ogre 1. Okay.
He's 8-0.
Ogre 1's putting on a show. This is exactly what we needed to see, Hoggy.
Yeah, he's mad. I think you just heard what I said. He's mad about what I just said, but...
Get out of the Discord call, Hoggy. Get out of it. You don't need to be in there anymore.
Yeah, he can hear me right now. The scores are tied, though. It's 9-all. He's got the heat wave in hand. Can he get himself a killing frenzy? That's probably what he wants, sort of to bounce back. Taj gets himself a double kill as well. So there's only 3 kills for Taj and 8 for Ogre 1. So Benno finally gets himself on the board. Hef's on the donut. Ogre 1, he gets caught out there on the spawners of Divine Minds, and he will go down. Doesn't manage to get the killing frenzy, but it's the start that you want to see from Ogre 1.
He doesn't manage to get the killing frenzy, Hoggy, because you jinxed him. You're not a team player, man. You keep saying this over and over again. You love these Immunity boys, but you're not really rooting for him. I can hear it in your voice. That was really good overall, but from coming from Ogre 1, just that steel ball run in the beginning, going straight for it. But that entire time, I was watching the rest of his teammates on the scoreboard, and none of them were really picking up the kills to sort of support him. You have Hef still going 0-3 right now. Benno and Taj, sure, they're on 3 kills, but meanwhile, Ogre 1's just running around the rest of the map, getting kills here, there, and everywhere. But, you want the rest of your team to be supplying the same amount of pressure as you are. Ogre 1 himself just can't carry this full game because they're going up against the roster that is Divine Mind, and all 4 of them are really strong slayers in themselves.
Yeah, Berserk's being super, super sneaky right now. He's called
Camo
out
runs out.
I don't know if he knows the players behind him, and he doesn't. He will get a killing spree before he gets taken down, and it's a double kill for Ogre 1. Hef is down bottom middle, and he will find Dante. Dante takes him down. Immunity were momentarily 4 dead, so the lead moves in the favor of Divine Minds, even though Ogre 1 has started out hot with 12 kills.
Sniper is up right now. It's going to be a bit of a battle for this weapon, as I'm sure both teams would love to secure this right now in order to get themselves a few kills. Unfortunately for Immunity, it does go in the hands of Dante, who we've seen, especially right now, he's 8-5, and he's putting up some big kills on the board. Does miss the no-scope on Benno right there, but does take him down, just smacks him straight in the jaw, gets the double, finishes him off with the BR, and he's looking for blood, Hoggy.
Yeah, he's trying to find the triple. He knows there's a player under him, one shot, and he will find it as a killing spree already for Dante. He's got the sniper in hand. Let's see if any players can walk into his crosshair and give him an easy snipe. He's going to move over, though. He's going to try to help out his teammate over at green. One of his teammates does get a kill. He will move back to bottom middle as the side of Immunity are pushing all over Dummy's side. The camera is up in 10 seconds. He'll put some shots down on Hef and back down with the sniper. So Dante playing his life with his team. He's got a player up in front of him at Nest. He hits the shot. He's got a player pushing him, uses the repulsor. Benno with a big play to take that kill, and Ogre 1 gets the camo, so it's only a 1-kill game now, Bluey.
I'm actually really surprised that at no point there Immunity put more pressure on Dante. He just kind of got to free roam around that tower section with the snipe, and they absolutely knew he was there, but maybe they just thought it was better for them just to play more in garage side, not to give him any angles. And I think that actually proved better for the team of Immunity because they're just playing one side of the map. And Benno actually does manage to get a quick kill there with the snipe headshot. So, you know, Immunity is playing quite smart here. They know that they only have, you know, a 1-kill lead, so they're trying to slow down the pace of the game and make more aggressive players on the side of Divine Mind come to them for the kills rather than pushing them and losing any map control that they might have.
Yep, Ogre 1 goes down, Voltage goes top middle, he knows a player is dropped down to bottom middle and he's going to chase him. He'll call him out to Ogre 1 and Ogre 1 can't finish him off, but Taj does get him, Berserk's right in front of him and he will challenge, but he has to back down. He'll throw a nade, Berserk's going to back down, call out for his teammates to come. Benno has the sniper in hand though, he misses the first shot, does take down Berserk. Can he get the kill here on Beaston? Oh, he doesn't. No, he misses. Beaston takes him down, so Beaston with a clutch play. There's still 1 kill the difference. The players of Team Immunity have flanked him. Ogre 1 is getting shot in the back and Hef is also getting shot. Ogre 1's going to turn around. He won't be able to get him. He'll go down. So Hef and Ogre 1 are dead for the side of Immunity. And the game is still tied, Bluey. It's just staying close, back and forth.
This map is all tied up, and I'm sure at that point the sniper didn't actually get fully used, so I'm curious to see if any members of Divine Mind actually managed to pick it up, or if it despawned. I'm fairly certain it despawned, but it doesn't matter because, you know, the Mangler is essentially a sniper in this game, and that's exactly what Dante's going to do with it. He's going to pick up that hefty damage with the Mangler, quickly switch to his BR, and get the team supports he needs for the quick kill. So they are sort of taking a lead, 3 kills, but that's not hard for Immunity to bounce back from, especially pushing over this camo right now. All members of Immunity are watching over it, and it doesn't take much for them to be able to catch up on some of these kills.
Yep, Camo is about to spawn. If Immunity's able to grab this, and they will, there's no players from Divine Mind around, so they will get the Camo. If they can use this to their advantage, they might be able to bring themselves back into this game. They are only down by 3 kills. Ogre 1 will clean up Taj's damage. The player next to him is one shot. He's going to push down bottom middle. Would have got the call out from his teammate across the map that there is a player coming down bottom middle. Taj is on the opposite side of the map to his teammates. 2 of his teammates are together, and he's playing with the other.
Right now, yep. Immunity are split right now.
Yep, and they're spawning over at green. They've brought the game back, and it is tied. Taj, these 2 players fly straight in through Garage. He'll back down. There is a third one that we can see on his screen. So tied up again, Bluey. Taj, this is a big fight. He needs to take him down.
No.
He doesn't,
okay,
though.
it's a tie.
He does get him. He does get him.
Yeah, good tie there. But unfortunately, 3 members of Immunity do go down. It wasn't really worth the trade. It is only 2 kills to make up the difference for Immunity. So we're going to see the game slow down a bit here, and we're going to see teams sort of favor positions on the map more than anything. Ogre 1 picks up a really good kill on Berserk there over in the courtyard side of the map. Unfortunately, Benno is going to have to run for his life, but they do clean up that kill on Beaston after Benno put so much damage down, but he is in control of the sniper right now. He's got 6 shots to make do with, and these are going to be super important. Dante with that Mangler, he misses the melee, and he gets out-manglered. Can Benno hit the shot? He does not, just misses it. So it's going to take a lot of team. He does not want to be caught out in this position. Benno needs to back off right now and let his team help with the no-scope.
1 kill to win, and they do get it. Immunity take game number 2.
Immunity.
What a no-scope.
That's exactly the performance that we need to see. That no-scope was such a huge play in the... Oh my god, Hoggy. What was that?
That was nuts.
Oh my god.
That is literally what he needed to do, right? Because if he goes down, you know, they could have lost that game. But the fact that he gets a kill off that, holy crap. His teammate cleans up another. Oh
talk about hitting it where it counts, man. And he was still putting down shots with that Mangler as well. You know, he had such strong just power weapon presence. It actually was really hard for the team of Divine Mind to push him without making sure that they were all going to get on top of him at the one time. But, you know, there's not much you can do when he pulls off a ripper of a headshot like that, a ripper of a no-scope. Jeez.
We should call him Barcode, because that was
I feel like
that was insane.
I feel like it's too early to call that yet, Hoggy. It was a good shot, but yeah, I don't know about that one.
Barcode V2 coming in hot.
The Barcode DLC.
Benno is a beast, though. He is a beast. He has been a beast for a long time.
Absolutely, and he was putting it down super heavy on that map right there. He was doing super well, man. That damage, that accuracy, those kills really mattered when they came in clutch, you know, and you could see also there were so many instances where they were putting down a ton of damage, and then you had a player like Ogre 1 following up on it to be able to secure those kills, which is exactly what happened at the end of that game, and that's exactly the kind of teamwork and coordination that Immunity need right now. So that puts them 1-1 on the board with Divine Mind. Great game.
Yeah, Ogre 1 coming out hot. After a tough game number 1, he brings it back in game number 2, and he was on fire at the start. He didn't hold on to that sort of, you know, fire that he caught at the start, but it didn't really matter in the end. You know, they worked together. They managed to trade the kills out when they needed to. He might not have been able to win the battles that he was winning at the start, but he was doing work for his team to keep them in the game, and Benno showed up clutch at the end, you know, as Benno does. He's a freak at the game.
That exactly like you said, Hoggy. That's literally the one thing that he needed to do in that situation.
And that right there.
To really make it count, and he did. He absolutely did. We're going to see it again. Oh, come on.
I love the ragdoll.
Yeah, Slay's just caught out with his pants down and just flipped on his head, man. Like, nothing that you can do in a situation like that. Slay's, I'm sure, was just like looking at his screen, blank face, like, oh, okay, I guess he hits that.
Yeah. And not only that, I don't know if it's disrespectful, but he just dropped the sniper on his body. Yeah, you have
Let him know. Man. Let him know. Game's done. You lose.
These are your bullets.
Yeah.
You pick this thing up now.
Really good. With us going into our jeez, I'm coming down off a high, Hoggy. With us going down from our second game into our third game now, that we are back on streets, which, as Hef mentioned and as we saw before, is actually a really strong map in terms of immunity. So we have seen Divine Mind play it a bunch as well, and they also are just equally, if not a little bit stronger. I want to say, man, it's really hard to call on this map in particular because I feel as though we've seen Divine Mind play on this map a bunch, and they have been really in control of this. So coming into streets, I do have high hopes for immunity, but Divine Mind are a very tough and in-control opponent, especially on strongholds, man. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, immunity's tied the series up against Divine Mind. It's 1-1 now. And this is immunity's map, man. If they can win this map, it's always tough going into a game 4 when you're down 2-1. So whoever can win this will make it hard for the other team in game number 4. Ogre 1, he's straight to bottom middle, starting right where he left off last game. He won't be able to get the double. He's got a player behind him. He'll go down. Beastie gets himself a double. Voltage will trade it out. The Rockets are still down bottom middle. Benno will get himself B, and they'll start ticking over points. Voltage grabs the Rockets.
Taj has Rockets right now, and they have captured B, which gives him a little bit of a safe leeway. He was one shot, so he can just sort of push up B stairs, know that he can get his shields back, and he's going to be looking for these players right now. He does manage to get one kill with the Rockets, which is good. He whiffs that first one, but hey, man, it's better than giving one free rocket to Divine Mind, because I feel as though, you know, when you have the players on the roster of Divine Mind like you do, they're going to make a lot of use out of even just one rocket. So we are going to see the spawns flip here from what they originally were. Now Divine Mind is on Tram side, and Immunity is on this A side, PD side. So they are going to cap once again, but they do have caps, so they are ticking up on the board. Good game so far for Immunity.
Yeah, I already like what I'm seeing from Team Immunity. They weren't able to get the A capture point, but Ogre 1 has gone bottom middle. He's gone for the flank. He has managed to get themselves the A point. 3 down for Immunity, though. Benno, the last man alive, and they're going to lose the A point, and they're probably going to lose the B point, so they're going to have to take C straight off respawn, but the players from Divine Mind are going straight into C to contest.
Yeah, already Divine Mind giving a bit of an answer with that B point.
There
they have gotten a triple cap, and Ogre 1 just gets absolutely disrespected and backsmacked, so they can't contest anything. It's going to take... They're actually spawning PD side in PD right now, but they have players all over them coming in from both sides, so they're 2 players down in PD. It's only Taj and Ogre 1, and they both go down. So their spawns are absolutely stagnated. They're going to get a tram spawn. They probably will manage to capture C, but Divine Mind have them dialed in currently, and are just all over them, all on their spawns.
Yeah, Berserk knows that he needs to catch them off guard while there's 2 of them spawning and there's only 2 left at C. He'll jump straight into C and try to capture it himself. He's got a player coming to his left. He doesn't know he's there. He tries to do the do-si-do as Benno pushes in. Benno's sliding around, but Benno will take him down. He trades the kill, though, so the do-si-do works, and the Rockets are up for Ogre 1. He won't be able to get him. He'll have to back down. Hef will clean up his kill, though. The Rockets are probably in the hands of Divine Mind. No, they're not. They're still there. Ogre 1 will go in, but a player from Divine Mind runs straight in. He grabs him. He does go down. Another player from Divine Mind jumps in, and they'll get the Rockets in the hands of themselves. And Immunity's trying to get a capture point back, but it's still in the hands of Divine Minds.
The 2 Rockets go out. Dante uses both of them just to secure that kill on Hef right there, which, I mean, I think is worth overall, because he does deny that that big presence a little bit, but, you know, after that, it looks like Divine Mind is just going to be able to get into it anyway. But they do catch themselves in a bit of a pickle here with... Immunity just spawning C. But that being said, Immunity push up C ramp, immediately go down 2, and they're being contested already. And for some reason, Slays doesn't die to the hail of grenades, but he does manage to get flanked. And we do see kills come out from both sides. Both sides go down 2. So it is a bit of a stalemate right now, but Divine Mind definitely in favor with their score.
Yeah, Benno and Ogre 1 managed to stay alive at C, and it puts enough pressure on the team of Divine Minds, and the Immunity boys spawn up behind them. They clean out a few players of Divine Minds. Now Benno's going to push in for B. He's got a teammate on the other side of the map that is trying to push around to A. He will take down the one shot of Berserk, and he will probably manage to get B here as The players of Divine Mind are on the opposite side of the map and won't be able to contest. He's got his teammates to help him out. They do have C, though, and if the players of Divine Mind jump straight in C, I can't imagine Immunity doing anything other than jumping straight into A to get themselves that point. But they are bringing the game back. They're down by 60. The side of Divine Mind is trying to get C. Two of the players of Immunity go down, so Benno's going to go in, try to trade out his life, but he won't be able to. So Divine Minds are going to start taking over points again.
Interesting rotation there because I'm guessing they knew that the majority of Divine Mind were just going to go C anyway. It's a bit weird to think that Immunity didn't just rotate immediately into A and capture that instead, prioritize that instead, because that would have just given them, you know, more points in the bag, right? But what we saw is instead was them sort of split, get picked off, and then Divine Mind were able to just plink at any players who were heading over to the C side to try and stop that capture from Divine Mind. But unfortunately, all that story has led to them being triple capped right now, Hoggy. So this is looking really bad for Immunity here, honestly, after we saw them so convincingly play Streets before. They're sort of getting a bit mollywopped, a bit slapped around here.
Yeah, the names of Team Immunity just keep going grey in the top right. It's all we're seeing, at least one dead almost every second of the game, as it's been for the last couple of minutes. It feels like one of them is always dead, and it's a trip cap now for Divine Minds. The two players of the Immunity are trying to push in for C, but Dante is on the flank like he had been in the previous games. He'll find one. He's on a killing spree. Hef will clean him up. Berserk's trying to stop B from being taken. Slays is there as well. As we jump on board with him, he'll get taken down. Berserk is going to jump into Hef. Hef will defend B, though. They stop the trip cap for the time being, but there's only 25 seconds left.
Yeah, look how much the score is just like bloating out from what it was previously. This whole time, Divine Mind have just been able to rack up those points with every single fight they've had because they've just been in control of the 2 points. Sure, they've gone to contest Immunity every single time, take them down, but at no point has Immunity made a push for like the opposite point to try and get control of it and stop some of that bleeding. And as I'm saying this, you know, there's only so many points remaining for Immunity to be able to catch up on, and there's no way they're going to be able to make up that 50-point difference in such a short amount of time, Hoggy. Only 7 seconds left.
Yeah, this is just base defense from Divine Minds. They're probably going to just stall out Immunity here and take game number 3 and take us into game number 4. They'll go up 2-1. It's a critical game in the series because going to game number 4, it's going to make it hard for Immunity. They really, really have to pull through.
Yeah, they absolutely have to, especially after that performance. I think it's a bit... yeah, not what we expected. I looked at that and thought, oh, okay, well, the Streets game that they played before was really, really tough, but now it's just that one kind of fell to the wayside. I think it's time for Immunity to sort of throw that game off the board and be like, all right, we need to sort of reorganize ourselves and go into this next game with a better mindset because, man, oh, man, that was not what the performance that you need, especially at this point.
Yeah, 3 players on the side of Divine Minds all hitting double-digit kills. They're all working together, getting things done in game number 3 to get themselves up 2-1 in the series. Damage across the board from Immunity, pretty even, but they just got outslayed. Dante, 4,300 damage, so he's picking up exactly where he left off from game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that was just a clinic in how, you know, from the perspective of Divine Mind, how Slays, like in general, and putting that damage down range just leads to being able to better map control. And at no point were the team of Immunity able to answer to that whatsoever. You know, Divine Mind was just so in control of getting the kills when they mattered, getting the team shots down range when they mattered, and Immunity just couldn't do anything to contest that. It was a really tough game for Immunity.
Yeah, it felt like there was always at least one dead on the side of Immunity, and when you're always playing 3v4, it makes it very, very hard because Streets is a map where you can't really collapse on the spawns, right? If you take down 1 player or 2 players and then you push in and take them down, you can then just flip it onto the other side of the map and do the same and just sort of pincer them.
No, I mean,
which is what we saw a couple of times.
That's exactly what Divine Mind did. Divine Mind knew that when Immunity were wiped off 1 point and then they were going to spawn Tram side, they immediately just ran to Tram to just contest them and put damage down on them, put pressure on them. And Immunity didn't really have anything to answer back with. They kind of just got collapsed on, died, and then didn't really have a reset in them to make anything count. So,
yeah, but we're going into CTF Bazaar. So CTF Bazaar for me is a very much like a bit of a stalematey map because it's kind of hard to sort of get in there. We see a lot of low-scoring CTF games on Bazaar. So the fact that Divine Mind has shown their dominance in game number 3, the ability to dominate the middle of the map in Bazaar is going to be so important for them to do in game number 4 because this is a critical game, right? If they win this, they go back into the final. They get to play Chiefs and sort of come back from what they were in the winners final, which was not as good as what they were last week.
Yeah. It's going to be really tough, I think, for Immunity to sort of reel this one back, especially on a Slayer because, on a CTF on Bazaar, because as soon as the snowball effect takes place on CTF on Bazaar, so hard to stop that because you're constantly just being pushed back into your base, and at no point are you able to contest that midpoint of the map to actually, make a flag play, make a Slayer play or anything like that. So immediately, the best thing for Immunity to do is start to prioritize the power weapons and the power up on this map because, again, that was something that we pointed out a lot in their previous matches, and it wasn't something that they have been doing successfully. I think only in the live fire game that we saw first, that the second match of this best of 5 was the only time that we've seen them do that today, and it worked out really well for them. They did really well. So, yeah, bit of a tough one to go into for Immunity, I think.
Yeah, the overshield is so crucial on this map. If you're able to get the overshield and get away with the full overshield rather than getting hit or anything, it allows you to sort of push straight into the enemy's tree and straight into the enemy's base, and being able to get it on the front foot right off the bat is what both of these teams need. And Divine Mind, for them, this is the winner. If they win this one, they're going into the grand final up against Chiefs, which that they want to come back and they want to win.
Oh, absolutely. And I would say without a doubt that Divine Mind want to get their game in against Chiefs. They absolutely do not want to be shut down here. They want to give themselves, they want to take a bit of credit back from what last week was because getting smacked around, it was a 6-0 in the way it was, they don't want to see that again. They don't want to see that happen. They want to redeem themselves a little bit. And if they fall to Immunity here, then they're not going to be able to have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, well, the game starts out kind of rough for Immunity. 2 of the players on the side of Immunity go down straight off the bat. It's 3 dead. Benno just sits there and tries to get the kill. The player will come straight into him and he won't be able to take him down. But Divine Mind, good start. They get the rockets in their hands. I don't know if Overshield was burned, but it's a good start for Divine Mind.
Berserk with the grapple hook and the rockets as well. He decides not to let the rocket go, which I think is a good call on his behalf because he can make use of that somewhere else, but he doesn't. He just has to whiff it instead. Off into the distance it goes. Probably hits some building off in the distance. And
probably
someone's going to
recharge or something.
Yeah, someone's going to have to claim insurance on that one, I'm sure of it. But yeah, it's a bit of a tough one because I don't think Immunity actually managed to get a hold of anything at the break of that game, which really, really sucks for them. We see Dante challenge with that Needler, and it is a bit of a tie, but that doesn't really mean much when you want to be making map space and they're not able to do that. They have 3 players already dead once again.
Yep, Taj, last man alive, and he's in lockers. You'll find Berserk, make him weak, back down, call out to his teammates. His teammates come out through balcony to help him out. He's got a player underneath him, and the other players from Divine Minds are pushing around behind him. They come straight up through balcony, and that Slays will take him down. Berserk is in the other locker, and he'll get another kill. So 2 down for the side of Immunity, 2 down for the side of Divine Minds, trading back and forth. Dante gets a double, huge double with the Bulldog in hand. And the overshield is coming up any second. It looks like it's got 19 seconds on it. So Divine Mind will want to need to keep control of the map and sort of get that overshield for themselves and use that to push in.
Yeah, Dante pretty much shut down any prospect of Immunity being able to take that OS on truck side when it first started to come up, immediately shutting them down with the Bulldog and setting up his team to be able to go in here. But we do see Taj challenge it right now, and did he get a hold of it? I'm not too sure what happened with it there.
I don't know what happened, but I feel like it got grappled in by someone or something.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Down. It was there, and he went for it, and it was not there anymore. But F will go in and get a back smack. Yeah, like I feel like someone grappled it or something. I don't know how the hell it's gone.
Slays is in control of the grapple right now, but yet no idea how it actually... What happened with the OS right there? Actually a bit weird. Bit of a phantom OS situation, but it doesn't matter because Divine Mind is just pushing so freely into the base right now that I feel like it didn't matter if they had OS or not. They were going to make this footing, especially when Berserk just lets off those perfect plays as is, but immediately gets cleaned up by Benno. So... this is so back and forth, Hoggy. I don't think we've seen either team make a pull for the flag, and even when teams get in each other's bases, they get wiped clean immediately and have to reset.
Yeah, Benno's pushed up a little bit too far without his teammates, and he's going to take a fight with Dante. He manages to stay alive, and Dante will back down, but he might have a player dropping from above him. His teammates are watching over him. He's only got 2 of his teammates, and they're on the opposite side of the map, so he is all alone. Oka 1 will grab the rockets, and he'll get 1 kill. There's another one next to him. No, it isn't. There it is. There it is. He's on top. He jumps up. He gets it.
Double.
It's 3 down. It's the last one left. It's Dante. Oka 1's pushing straight in. I don't think he has any players near him, so he just needs to stay alive and call out to his teammates to come through. The players of Divine Mind are all spawning down in rockets, and he'll try to put down shots, but Oka 1 is all alive, and I don't know if he's going to be able to play his life before his teammates get here.
I don't know about Ogre 1 making this play right now because the rest of his team just seems to be pushed into their base, or it looks like one member, I think that's Hef, is over on truck side, so they don't exactly have the footing to be able to support him right now. And, you know, that being said, Ogre 1 is the last one alive, just stuck on red side, while the rest of his players unfortunately die, and now they are 4 dead, which gives Divine Mind so much push, so much, you know, ability to take the flag, and we're going to see Slays probably just set up here on truck side if he doesn't manage to go down to Hef. We will see a little bit of a back and forth, but yep, unfortunately Benno does manage to take him out, and that looks like Benno won't take it. Oh my god, it's so scrappy right now. Voltage being able to take control of that truck and just push back Dante. So hopefully this means Immunity can take control of that OS, and it does look like they do with Ogwan pushing in red side double doors for the flag. So Divine Mind are going to have to make a response to this.
Yep, Ogre 1 straight in. He's got help from Taj. Benno will take down another. Ogre 1 should look to run the flag as his teammate takes down another one.
3 dead for Divine Minds.
Yeah, it's only 1 up for Divine Minds, and that's Beaston. But Beaston's on the other side of the map. He has grabbed the flag. There's a little bit of overshield left as it runs out. The players of Divine Mind are spawning all down on rockets. So the flag will be thrown bottom middle, and Immunity's going to have to go through another round of slaying.
Immunity are absolutely going to have to outslay here. Hopefully those shots coming in from Ogre 1 prove vital to Voltage, but they don't. Voltage unfortunately goes down. Ogre 1 does get a kill, but immediately cleaned up, and it looks like that's probably going to be a reset on the flag. I don't think Immunity have any manpower to be able to touch that, but just as I say that, Hef does manage to grab. That's a good pull coming from Hef, but there's no support for him otherwise. Voltage just sitting up at blue side bar, laying shots down. He does have Ogre 1 to support him, and they are going to have to, they will not be able to touch that flag in time. That's so unfortunate for Immunity, but I think that was the first consistent flag pull we've seen of the match in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the game, and that was the first flag that even made it to bottom middle. So I don't know if it was the best play by Hef to run in right at the end to try and get a touch, but it is what it is, and it's just bizarre CTF, isn't it? You know, it's just back and forth, sort of. It's really hard to get the flag across the map unless you slay them 2 times in a row. But as I say that, Divine Minds get a few kills. They're in the base of Immunity, and they'll start running a flag themselves.
Yeah, they seem to have the spawn staggered for Immunity a little bit now, so they can make a good run for the flag. You've got OS coming up in about 15 seconds, I believe. New rockets are about to be up as well. So hopefully, with good push, good communication, and good momentum, Divine Mind can turn this flag cap into also general map control and being able to get that power up and that power weapon. We do see a really good kill in support coming out from Beaston there, and it just means they have to nudge that flag a little bit forward. They do not get contested here, and I think that's going to be a pretty convincing first flag cap for the side of Divine Mind. Well done.
Yeah, Benno was trying to be a nuisance in the back of the Divine Mind base, but it didn't work out as all his teammates fell, and he was the last man alive. He didn't have any help. He got taken down. Divine Mind popping the first flag to go up 1-0. We're halfway through the game, and the first cap's finally gone in. Taj has no more rockets. He's used both. He's going to go straight into the enemy base. Berserker's turned straight around to find him, and they do find him. Slays manages to stay alive as well, so both of them stay alive. Ogre 1's going on the flank. The call out from V-Taj will be that they are down there, and they were weak. But Ogre 1 he's all by himself again. They seem to have this one player always on the flank, but their teammates go down too quickly before they can really get anything going off it.
Yeah, they don't. You know, there's nothing to back up Ogre 1 here. You know, it's a good position for him to have intel-wise, being able to call the spawns and where, you know, the members of Divine Mind are, but it doesn't mean much when those members of Divine Mind are just are just swapped and on your side of the base. And also, it doesn't mean anything when Dante is being able to be such a nuisance as is. He's staying alive, and he manages to take out V-Taj in that time as well. So yeah, man, oh man, Divine Mind are just completely shutting down Immunity right now, and Immunity just can't respond in any way, shape, or form. They're just being absolutely staggered out here, Hoggy.
Yeah, Dante's showing you exactly how it's done. If you get behind the enemy team, you got to go clutch and you got to get the kills, and that's how you get your flags running. And he might even get the flag himself. After all of that, sitting in the enemy base of Team Immunity, he keeps himself alive. He's the new milkman. Get out of the way, Pips. He's the new milkman, and he'll put his own flag in. He does everything.
Yeah, like, very hard to say here how Immunity can adjust, if anything. You know, they are currently down 2 flags, so it's going to take a really good back-to-back setup here for them to be able to run 2 flags. And, you know, I think the only option is for them to pretty much just run it down mid with it as fast as possible, because there are only about 4 minutes left on the clock. And if both flag caps from Divine Mind have taken this long, it's going to be really hard for Immunity to do anything in that amount of time to get 2 flags. You know, they have to make an absolute whirlwind of a play here, and I just don't think they have that in them.
Yeah, the first time the Team Immunity managed to get themselves the overshield, the plasma pistol takes it down completely in one hit, and it's already gone. And that was something that Team Immunity would have needed to get themselves at least one cap on the board. The side of Divine Minds have set up on the balcony of Immunity. Hef comes in, does manage to get the kill, and Beaston will trade it out. The players of Immunity are stuck in the back of their base. Dante's trying to go in and get the kills that he can. We're on board with Slays as two of his teammates are in the base of Team Immunity. Berserk is in there trying to play his life. He'll find one kill on Taj. He's got another player down at Rockets. That's Benno. He'll take it for a double kill. Slays is on point. The flag still hasn't moved, but he will start moving it now. The other two players from Team Immunity are on the opposite side of the map, and that is Hef. He has got the flag moving. Taj will get a kill on Berserk. And Slays has a player right above him, so he needs to be careful. He will go down. It's 3 down for the side of Divine Minds. And Hef, he's got the flag running. Is this their chance to get back in the game?
Fumbles it though a little bit, has to double back for it, which is super unfortunate because you don't want to stop that momentum, especially in that time. This looks like it will be a cap for Hef, for Immunity, which is exactly what they need. And it only took them about 2 minutes to get that flag, so it is possible that we could tie it up here if Immunity manages to make the play that they just did. If they can get a little bit more map control, and then they can convincingly, oh my god, Hockey's too tongue-tied, make a good pull for the flag. But as I say that, you know, they do go 3 down. Unfortunately, Benno is last alive, does get challenged, and they are staggered out right here, Hoggy, once again.
There was an overkill right there from Beaston, and we missed it, unfortunately. But Beaston gets himself an overkill. He's got 23 kills this game. Slays with 21. They're both stepping up. 15 assists from Berserk, and the side of Immunity is struggling. They don't have this overshield again, and Dante's got it in his hands. He pushes straight in to get Benno. He'll get a touch on the flag. He's got teammates helping him out as he runs it straight through Palm, and he will get it to bottom mid. Momentarily, the players from Team Immunity will be spawning up. They have one player in their base, and that is probably Hef again. He's probably grabbed the flag and moved it out. He has. So the flag is away at the moment. Dante is going to push straight through. Is he? Yes, he is. He's got shots in his back. He's got Hef in front of him, and he's got the flag moving all the way in. I don't know if they've got the return. They don't. The flag is still away, but they do. And they go 3-1 up. There's only a minute left. This is tough for Immunity now.
Yeah, geez, you know, I was saying there was a possibility that Immunity could bring it back with only a minute left on the board, you know, a rough like 60 seconds. I don't think Immunity really are going to be able to pull this out and get 2 flag caps in that time, you know. It's very, very doubtful. They need to make really solid setups here, but they just haven't been able to do that all game. And you know, that equals no flag caps, Hoggy. That equals being nothing to be, you know, nothing to be done. And meanwhile, you know, I want to give props to Dante here. It feels like he's spent like 50 to 60% of his game being on Immunity's side of the map, just being an absolute menace, just being a nuisance, which means that a Divine Mind just have free push-up into Immunity's base and being able to consistently pull these flags. And it looks like that's exactly what they're about to do once again. Dante, you know, Berserk and Beaston just all being around.
Yeah, Beaston pulls the flag. There's only 25 seconds left. The only way that Team Immunity can win this is if they get the flag across the map, score it, and then grab it again to put it into overtime. There's only 15 seconds left, though. So it looks like Divine Mind are going to take this game and head into the grand final against the Chief. They're going to set up a rematch from last week and the winners final. They want revenge. They've taken down Team Immunity. Immunity's come in, put up a good performance, but it's Divine Mind that will take them down, and they'll head straight into the grand final.
Very, very good stuff coming out from Divine Mind. You can see that they're hungry. They want this rematch against the Chiefs. And honestly, if they can play up to the level that they've just been playing, I think they're going to have a good set of games coming up against the Chiefs. You know, they do not want a repeat of what happened last week. They do not want to go down that easy. So for them coming into this, they need to take a bit of time to breathe, reset themselves, and focus up and go, okay, boys, it's us versus the Chiefs again. We need to put on a show. We need to play just how we were playing against Immunity. It all comes down to this man once again for Divine Mind. So we're going to see how they do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest thing for us is now they've got a bit of wind in their sails coming in from this series going up against Immunity, right? I think last week was a bit of a stark contrast, the fact that this is the first time that we've seen the Chiefs go down into the elimination bracket, and now Divine Mind were the ones that were sitting there and just kind of being one with their thoughts and just waiting for their next team to come back up into the grand final, whereas this time around, they're still hot. They're coming in from a series where it was a pretty long one going up against Immunity, and they've got players like Beaston right now who who scored an overkill in that Bazaar map, who are starting to feel themselves. They're coming into this, they've got a little bit of extra form, and going into that grand final, yeah, it's going to be a long track for them to get this Pro Series win, Hoggy, but they're at least coming in a little bit hotter, and maybe this first goal round against the Chiefs might be a full 5 mapper for us.
This was a good test for them, right? To sort of prove themselves against Team Immunity and sort of bounce back from the Chiefs series that they just had, which was, you know, a bit of a rougher series for them, and they'll be disappointed that they weren't able to take it out like they were last week. But getting back into the grand final gives them the chance to I was about to say 6-0, but oh no, it will be a 6-0 because we are best of 5. So it gives them the chance to 6-0 the Chiefs this week, maybe?
Potentially. I mean, it's going to be a pretty long haul for them to come back into a series against the Chiefs where they get themselves a 6-0, considering the amount of maps that the Chiefs have lost in HCS. I believe they're still probably somewhere in the single digits right now, and if they're able to come in to a grand final where they 6-0 the Chiefs, that's going to be a pretty ridiculous storyline. But, you know, on the other side of things, right now it still looks like they can try and get themselves a bracket reset. And, you know, I'm all about more Halo here, especially in the Pro Series, right, Blue? But I think the fact that we've had a pretty tight series coming in from Immunity, albeit, you know, maybe CTF as well as the Strongholds are a little bit more of a blowout. We did start out with some scenarios where Immunity still are showing their prowess in some of these map and game types, and I'm excited to see what they can do with an extra week underneath their belt.
Yep, from this point on, I think for Immunity, they've shown some really good peaks and valleys at where they are as a team. They've absolutely shown that they can fare up against some of the other, you know, best teams that we have in the region. And all it takes from this point on is them rallying together, getting some more practice in, and really figuring out, you know, where they're lacking and how to iron out those kinks that they have in their lineup, and especially, you know, their map knowledge and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what's sort of drawing them back at the moment. But that's easy for them. You know, they're seasoned players. They've been here before, and they know exactly how to take that knowledge, refine it, and, you know, take it into the future and just do better as a team overall.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good story for us to follow here, are the Team Immunity boys. But lads, it's time for us to talk to the coach of Divine Mind once again. We've got B-Diz here on the line with our winners interview. B-Diz, it's been a wonderful storyline for you guys so far to be able to put a team away like Team Immunity right now in a 3-1 scoreline. My question for you is a little bit more team focused for you guys. Like, who's the real in-game leader for you guys going into these series? Like, who's the one that's really barking the orders for everyone, or is it more kind of a team kind of effort in a lot of these games?
I don't even really think it's too much of a storyline, to be honest, though. Team Immunity haven't really been playing, and it shows. You know, it's pretty weird that they've just come out and come third. You know, it's pretty bad for the rest of the teams that have been playing since the game released. But what was your question?
Just about the in-game leader, like
the
who's
leader.
really kind of leading the troops here? Yeah.
No one really. Everyone pretty much has their own say, and, you know, everyone just speaks freely, so it's good.
I want to ask B-Diz, you know, you guys are coming up against the Chiefs again next. So going into this series, you know, is there any locker room talk that's going on in the background? Are there sort of key points that you're giving the boys to sort of be like, okay, this is where you need to focus up. This is how you need to play. We've been here before. You guys know what you're doing. You know, are there any words of advice that you're giving them specifically going into this next matchup?
Not really. They, like you said, they know what they've got to do. You know, even though they had flex reigns last week, you know, we still showed a lot of improvement. That last series, you know, Chiefs are an amazing team. You know, they've got a lot of skilled. Barcode's just running an absolute muck on everyone, so it's hard. But pretty much, you know, the last series they were kind of trolling and, you know, just playing real weird all over the place, weren't playing together. So pretty much they've just got to focus on a bit more teamwork and hopefully close out some games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Flex Reigns, how he played last week, and they've got Madzi this week. Do you think that changes things for you guys? Do you think that makes it a lot harder for you guys? Do you think it just doesn't matter? Is it just like, we're just playing the Chiefs, so we just need to come in hot as best we can?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, Flex Reigns is still very good, you know, an individual player.
Yeah.
You know, and from the start of the game, he's played a lot. So, you know, he's pretty decent player. But, you know, Madzi, you know, and everyone knows who Madzi is. You know, he's disgusting when it comes down to it. And I'm pretty surprised. You know, he's he's been MIA for a few weeks, you know, sorting out COVID stuff, and he's just come back and he's, you know, destroying. So it's, you know, it's good to see. But yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a rough road for you guys, a full bracket reset to try and get the Pro Series here under
a
your
long
belts.
night.
But Pete is one fall. Yeah, hopefully we get to see a whole lot of extra Halo coming out from you guys. So thanks once again for bringing your insight here, BDs, and good luck in the grand final to you and the boys.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just extra bit of insights there. It is going to be a long road for the Night Brew. Like, coming into a series going up against the Chiefs, who, you know, we've had so many tournaments so far in Halo Infinite, albeit we're still in the infancy of the game, and a lot of these teams still trying to, you know, work out how to run and, you know, instead of walking a lot of these games. But the fact that you're going up against the Chiefs, it feels like there's no real kind of game plan to kind of shut them out just because of the players they've got in the server. It's so hard to try and find that extra special sauce for the Divine Mind to try and get a tournament victory here today.
Yeah, and I also want to highlight that for all these players, there's another aspect that comes for it too. We've touched on it a couple of times, but it's not just the in-game challenges. It's the fact that these guys are playing all afternoon, well into the night. As a team, you have to sort of get that momentum going where you know what the road is ahead of you. You have to be mentally prepared for that, because if you're not mentally prepared for that, if you're not in it for the long haul, then you're going to start to find yourself crumbling in game. I think luckily for all of our top tier teams, they've already been around this road long enough where they know what to expect with these sort of running late series. But I think, you know, for anyone, no matter how many times you do it, no matter how many times you do the same song and dance, you're going to hit those days where it might affect you a little bit more than most. So, you know, it all just depends. It's not an if, but it's a when, and we might see that today. We might even see it come out from the Chiefs, where they might just be feeling a little bit more tired than usual, and Divine Minds may be able to take advantage of that and really give it to them. But yeah, you know, there's two fronts that you're fighting.
It's very hard for the boys of Divine Minds to try and overcome everything here, but maybe today is the day the Divine Minds can take down the Chiefs here in a full best of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to go to a break ahead of our grand final. The final series here of Pro Series number 2 is almost underway, so make sure you join us after this for the grand finale.